Hello everybody. In this video we'll try to talk about 21st September 2025, the partial solar eclipse. So basically this eclipse is visible only some parts of the world. So this eclipse is visible from New Zealand plus a thin strip of Australia's eastern coast and various Pacific islands and parts of Antarctica. So basically I want to tell you this eclipse is not visible in most of the parts of the world. Now you may think, okay, this eclipse is not visible in most of the parts of the world, so can I consider it will not impact most of the parts of the world? So even though it's not visible, it will still impact all over the world. See, in traditional astrology, the visibility of an eclipse mainly decides how strongly its effects are felt in that particular region. So, if an eclipse is visible in a country, its impact on politics, weather, public sentiment, in all these things is thought to be more obvious, of course, but if it's not visible, the eclipse is still part of the global cycle. That you need to understand. See, but its effects tend to be subtle, something like more like background currents felt by individuals through their personal charts or by nations only through long term trends. So the impact is subtle in the parts of the world where it is not visible. In the background, you can observe the impact. Now, what is the most important thing about this particular solar eclipse? Why we are making a video at all? Is it very much important? It's very much important because in this particular solar eclipse, the important observation is many planets are either in their own nakshatra or own sign. Right? So that is the fundamental thing. If you observe, the Saturn is in its own nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada during this solar eclipse. That's the own nakshatra of Saturn, of course. And Jupiter is in Punarvasu, that is own nakshatra of Jupiter. And Mars is in Chitra nakshatra, so that is the own nakshatra of Mars. And Sun is in Uttara Falguni nakshatra, that is the own nakshatra of Sun. And where is Rahu? Rahu is in Aquarius, that's the own sign of Rahu. We consider Aquarius as the own sign of Rahu because Rahu's qualities are much more in alignment with Aquarius, especially the technology. Right? The technology aspect of Rahu and the technology aspect of Aquarius are in alignment. Now, where is Mercury during this solar eclipse? It is in the sign of Virgo. That's the sign of Mercury. And where is Venus, the Shukra? It is in the Magha nakshatra, but after Magha nakshatra, it will go to Purva Falguni, of course. The Purva Falguni is the own nakshatra of Venus. So Ketu is in Purva Falguni nakshatra during this particular solar eclipse, but after that it has to go to Magha, that is the own nakshatra of Ketu. So this is the most important observation. Most of the planets are in their own nakshatras or own sign, almost all the planets. And after this eclipse, in some days, one or two planets which are not in their own sign or own nakshatras, they will go to their own nakshatras, right? After a few days of this particular solar eclipse. So this gives the eclipse a very special astrological weight. So what it means, Saturn is in Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, that is the own nakshatra of Saturn. That means Saturn's discipline, patience and karmic lessons are strong here and unfiltered. No filter at all because Saturn is in its own nakshatra, Uttara Bhadrapada. And what is Jupiter and Punarvasu? when you talk about Jupiter, you talk about wisdom, protection, and spiritual growth. So Jupiter's blessings are still intact in this solar eclipse. And Mars is in the Chitra Nakshatra. That is, what is Mars basically? It is the representation of energy, the drive, and the construction and destructive power. Right? So that is also very much visible in this particular solar eclipse. And what is Sun in Uttara Falguni means? Sun means the authority, the leadership, and of course the dharma strength, that is Sun. So, but Sun is being eclipsed means ego and rulers may face some testing times, of course. But because every solar eclipse has this Sun being eclipsed, that's why solar eclipse is the most important thing, because it is related to the leaders. It is related to leadership. And Rahu is in Aquarius. That's the own sign of Rahu. And so Rahu's illusions, unconventional ideas, and mass movements are strong because of this particular solar eclipse. There's a sudden collective shifts possible. I will explain you thoroughly, in a few moments, in a few minutes. But I'm just trying to, make you understand the fundamental things here. So Venus moving from Magha to Purva Falguni just after the solar eclipse is also impacting the relationships, comforts, and creativity. And whatever I'm talking about here, the most important thing is whatever I'm talking about, the significations, all these significations, they're all going to be reset. They're all going to be reset. So basically, as Venus is moving from Magha to Purva Falguni just after the solar eclipse, you can see a kind of shift in values or love patterns after this solar eclipse. And Ketu is moving from Purva Falguni to Magha just after the solar eclipse. It means that past karmic debts and detachments are activated strongly here, because Ketu is nothing but the detachment, is the past karmic debt. So basically, when planets are in their own nakshatras or own signs, they act in their purest form. The eclipse acts like a reset button here. Eclipse stops everything and just starts everything. So it acts like a reset button, magnifying all the karmic themes connected to these planets in the discussion. So this means, this eclipse is not just a shadow event, but a cosmic alignment where every planet is speaking its own language loudly. Because every planet is strong here. Every planet is in its own nakshatra or in its own sign. So in a collective level, if you observe, there's going to be a big karmic turning point. It's for governments, or you can observe mass movements after the solar eclipse. You can observe spiritual shifts because of Jupiter and Ketu here, and also the justice and dharma restructuring. Saturn and Mars are also included here. So a very big justice restructuring is possible. In a personal level, of course, whichever houses these planets rule in your chart will feel a reset or shift in that particular house. For example, if you see Saturn is in Pisces. If with respect to moon, when you are observing the current transits, you generally need to observe with respect to moon. Personal charts I'm talking about, that is called as the Gochara. So let us say your moon is in Sagittarius, so you are a Sagittarius moon guy, and Saturn is ruling your 4th house here. So you can see a kind of shift or change in your home or education, or your property, your vehicles. This kind of theme would run in your horoscope, in your personal horoscope. But I am very much interested in the world level, because this is the 2025 ending coming. And if you see Vedic calendar, of course the 2025 ending is in the month of March 2026. that is the Vedic end of 2025, you can say. Vishwavasunama Samvatsara is going to be ended by 2026 March. There comes the Chaitra Shukla Padhyami, the first day of the next year. After March, during April, I think, it's around in between March and April. Every year comes the same time. That is the day, Chaitra Shukla Padhyami. Now, so some of the things in the world will be reset. So, because see, many grahas are in their own nakshatra or sign at this eclipse. So, the event acts like a powerful trigger that can reset directions rather than immediately change facts. It's a kind of reset. So, when you reset in your computer, it just takes some 5 to 10 minutes, but it's the reset of the world. It's the reset of the world. So, during the reset, it should first stop the existing pattern and then start a new pattern. So, the whole thing may take some time, some 3 to 4 months or 4 to 5 months. I am thinking, as this is related to the end of Kali Yuga, so I am thinking this reset, the stopping process would take some time, like till March and April, till March, April of 2026. So that is a stopping process from today, means from 21st September to some March or April 2026. Till the time, this whole duration is the stopping process. This whole duration is the stopping process. Now, think of it as a major system update. It's a kind of, the whole world is going to be updated. It's not a simple thing. If it is a simple thing, I would not make a video at all. Right? So you can see resets in the leadership and authority themes, because Sun is mainly part of this big solar eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse, but still it is very, very effective, I would say. You can see shifts in who holds power, and reputations are also tested. There's no doubt at all. And resetting this collective ideas and trends, because Rahu is in Aquarius during this eclipse. So sudden social and technological or ideological movements accelerate. You can see a new technology is also going to be invented. It's not just AI. On top of AI, there's a very huge possibility that you can see something new would be invented related to AI or any technology. The technology boost, you will see the technology shift, a severe technological shift you can see. It's going to reset the structures, rules and long-term plans, because Saturn is in its own nakshatra. So the institutions, the policies and the contracts, these are all, phase that reset. And resetting conflicts or resetting some of the initiatives is very much possible, because Mars is part of it. Mars is in its own nakshatra during this eclipse. So new projects start, or old fights, the old fights that you have seen. Let's take any war that that is the old one, is going to be come up. It is going to be escalated, and some of the old wars would be resolved. That is also possible, because it's a reset. And now it is going to reset the values, relationships in the world, because Venus is also the part of this one, because it's not part of the eclipse I am talking about. It's actually is moving to in its own nakshatra. It's being in its own nakshatra is the fundamental thing. You're getting it? During the eclipse, what happens is, eclipse is a kind of stopping the energies, especially the energies of Sun. Sun is the main energy creator, we believe in Vedic astrology. And when its energy is passed, it's reset. During the time, if all the planets are in its own nakshatras, are in its own sign, their own signs, that is a clear indication that the whole world is going to be reset. And now, even the resetting this information and commerce related things are also very much possible because Mercury is in its own sign, that is Virgo, during this solar eclipse. So, new understandings, new negotiations, new communications, that is Mercury here. And resetting the belief system and protection themes are also, it's also very much possible because Jupiter and Ketu are part of it. Jupiter is in its own nakshatra Punarvasu, and then Ketu is in its, is of course in this in a nakshatra like Purafalguni, but it is going to move to Magha after some days of this eclipse. So spiritual or moral reframing is possible. So you can expect some initiations, revelations, endings, and new beginnings. See, the full effects usually unfold over weeks to months after the eclipse, as eclipse is processing and these consequences ripen. You would see, you need to wait and watch. I am telling you the time duration is 21st September to the March April. So September ending, it's almost September ending. So October, November, December, January, February, and then March. The next 6 months it is going to be impacted. The world reset. Just observe the next 6 months. Right? Now, you just see, tomorrow is Mahalaya Amavasya, right? So that makes the eclipse even more karmic and spiritually charged up, because solar eclipse plus Mahalaya Amavasya, see, the day when the sun, the soul, and the moon, the mind, and karmic shadows, Rahu Ketu, align on the very new moon dedicated to ancestors, the Pitru Tidhi, that is Mahalaya Amavasya. Mahalaya Amavasya is related to our ancestors. So Mahalaya Amavasya is the time when the Pitru Loka, means the ancestral realm. So according to the Vedic culture, the whole world is, the whole universe is divided into some kind of realms, even though you may not see them with your physical abilities, but there are some realms, and among them is, one of them is the Pitru Loka, the ancestral realm, is closest to the earth. So prayers or the tarpans and the remembrance of ancestors are believed to bring liberation and blessings during this time. And see, during this time, the souls of ancestors also come closer to the earthly plane. So an eclipse on this day means the ancestral karmas and debts, the Pitru Runa, we say, are highlighted collectively and personally. So this is an important day. So it is a reset of ancestral patterns also. The karmas from the lineage may rise for release. That is the fundamental theme. It may bring some closer to unfinished family cycles also, or awaken hidden truths about one's roots and past. You can see that in the political level as well. So spiritually, if you observe, it's a rare gateway for prayer, meditation, and connecting with ancestors. So yes, this is not just an eclipse, it's a deep karmic cleansing point, I am saying, for the world. It's not for you, it's not for you personally, it's for the world. The deep karmic cleansing point activation is happening tomorrow. It's for the world, it's for the lineages, right? So it's very, very important for the world. This eclipse is quite important for the world. It's mainly because of these factors. It's a solar eclipse. It's almost every planet is in its own sign or nakshatra, and it is Mahalaya Amavasya. So because of three reasons, this eclipse has got lot of importance. So leadership transitions you can observe, or kind of leadership movement you can observe, big moves in technology, AI or space, or any unconventional reforms, because Rahu is in Aquarius. So during this eclipse, so economic restructuring, new policy frameworks, because Mercury, Venus, Saturn is strongly placed, and Venus in the in this particular sign, Leo is also very, very strong, right? And Venus moving to Pura Falguni after that, after the solar eclipse, it's a bit strong. So economic restructuring is going to happen by 100%. And spiritual and ethical reorientation, you see the restructuring, yes, it's going to happen, because Jupiter and Ketu are part of it. Jupiter is in its own nakshatra, I'm telling, and Ketu would move to in its own nakshatra Magha after some days of this eclipse. So a karmic pause and restart, and how humanity relates to tradition, the progress, the technology, the leadership, everything is going to be reset. You're getting it? So the eclipses plant seeds that unfold over 6 months. I am telling you, the next 6 months, a very clear picture you can see here. The 6 months period, just after 21st September till the March, April, the Chaitra Shukla Partimi day, till that day, or until the next pair of eclipses also, you can say, not just till the next till the next new year. It's not till the next Vedic year. It's till until the next pair of eclipses, you would see the impact of this eclipse, no doubt. So the main thing I am talking about is the leadership transitions. See, the sun is in Uttara Falguni, represents rulers, executives, and anyone in position of authority. So being eclipsed while in its own nakshatra suggests a temporary dimming of leadership, right? So old leaders may step down or face some kind of scrutiny, or hidden issues about ethics or misuse of power can surface, and new or younger voices may rise. These are all the things you can see in the upcoming days. Over the coming months, you can see government, CEOs, and social figureheads may undergo a karmic audit. Karmic audit for all of this. It's leading to some kind of reforms or a fresh style of leadership. A brand new. This is indicated here. And you can also see, Rahu is in Aquarius. Whenever Rahu is in Aquarius, it magnifies the innovation. It magnifies the futuristic thinking also. So the experimental things will grow up. So during this eclipse, Rahu's influence can trigger breakthroughs in all these areas like AI, robotics, or space research, or any kind of technology. So sudden reforms in digital governance also, you can see anything related to data privacy or alternate energy systems. This is all the theme, because Rahu is in Aquarius. Even the social platforms and online communities could see new rules or disruptive inventions. The inventions that you cannot imagine. So overall here, see, Rahu points to a karmic leap towards some kind of unconventional science or unconventional technologies. So the economic restructuring, I told you that they're going to happen 100%, because see, Mercury is in Virgo. It gives some kind of sharp analysis, or it's very perfect for revising laws and budgets and even trade policies. Mercury is related to trading. So, and also Venus shifting from Magha to Pura Falguni just after the solar eclipse, it brings focus on wealth distribution, also banking, also artistic work, any kind of art, and luxury markets as well. And Saturn, as I am talking about restructuring, I need to talk about Saturn. I need to check the Saturn's position also, as Saturn is in Uttara Bhadrapada, which is actually, it's mainly about adding discipline, right? So it is going to add discipline. It a kind of urging governments to tighten up the regulations and build long-term stability. That is the fundamental thing. See, together, if you see the position of Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, because the economic restructuring, the policy making, so all this together, they suggest some kind of restructuring of taxation, digital payments, or welfare systems. This is all very much possible. It's a time when economies may clean house. It's streamlining outdated rules. I'm seeing a I'm that's why I'm seeing the world's reset. When I'm feeling this solar eclipse planetary positions, I'm seeing the world's reset. So basically, you can see Jupiter is in Punarvasu and Ketu is shifting from Pura Falguni to Magha after this particular, the solar eclipse. So basically, these two can shift the spiritual ideology also. They together, invite society to question the shallow success and look for meaning in service, simplicity, and sustainability. So at the same time, you would see some technological inventions because of this Rahu, and the Ketu on Jupiter is going to make the world, question this shallow success. So movements around environmental care, cultural preservation, and spiritual practices may gain new momentum in the world. So it's a kind of a new world I am seeing altogether. I am not at all feeling the old world anywhere here. Completely gone. I'm only seeing a new world. Completely. 100%. So this eclipse plants seeds for a collective shift. It's a collective shift. It's not a simple shift. So this is what I see in this solar eclipse, the partial solar eclipse. Thanks for watching this video.